Welcome to Holley Sniper EFI Training Part 21. This training module, we're going to be taking a look at our spark timing modifier tables, such as our air temp or engine coolant temp compensations. We're going to learn how these work and how to properly dial them in for our engine. Without further wait, let's jump in so we can check this out.
Okay, so let's get started. We're going to be taking a look at working with setting up our spark timing modifier tables within our Holley Sniper EFI programming. Our spark timing modifiers tables allow us to vary the spark timing based on engine coolant temperature or inlet air temperature. This is going to make sure that we have our spark timing being delivered to our engine safely and most efficiently in a variety of conditions. Let's jump in and take a look at our main spark timing table, and then we'll talk about our modifier tables, how to go and configure the modifier tables, and then how they all fit together. We're going to do a quick demonstration here on the engine simulator so you can see how this actually works. It's very, very simple. Let's jump in and take a look at our base spark timing table or the main spark timing table. We're going to move in here to our Spark ICF. Doesn't matter exactly what file you have open. They're all going to be the same idea in terms of how our modifiers and our base spark timing tables work. So let's jump in here to our Spark ICF, and we can see right now our base timing table here comes up on screen. Now we can see I have the Holley here on the engine simulator, and we can see the little cursor positions moving around, simulating that to be driving down the road, varying engine speed. Now what we're going to find here is if we're looking down under the lower tab under timing control, we see that we have some basic parameters here. Engine RPM, throttle position, map pressure, base timing, which is coming from our table right here, actual ignition timing, what's actually delivered to the engine, and then we have our two compensations, which is going to be timing versus air temperature and timing versus coolant temp, where we can either add or subtract timing against our base spark timing table. So what we'll find here is the base spark timing table is the main spark timing source where we can command the spark timing from. But what we actually deliver to the engine in terms of spark timing may not match up to what we're finding in the table right here. So in this particular state that I'm in on the engine simulator, we're finding that the base spark timing table is varying around because I'm moving an engine speed back and forth here. The actual spark timing delivered to the engine is going to match the base because we have no offset or modifiers that are going to come into play down here. These are the two offset modifiers. We can see that be reported right here. So at any given time, if your ignition timing isn't matching your base timing, we'll find that we either are in idle conditions, or as we're out of idle conditions and operating our engine in a normal part throttle or wide open throttle, we have our timing versus air or timing versus coolant temp kicking in and modifying things. So a pretty basic concept here with these modifier tables. Let's jump in and talk about our modifier tables and how to configure them and values that we'd probably like to put into the actual tables. First table we're going to be talking about here is our timing versus coolant temperature. This table here will allow us to offset spark timing relative to the engine's coolant temp. Now, first let's talk about the axis scaling down here. We need to go and fix the axis scaling. It starts off here at -40 and it goes to 999 degrees. Obviously, this is incorrect. So we need to go and fix this. We need to consider what the normal operating range of our engine is going to be in terms of our coolant temperature. That'll be anywhere from, let's say, -40, which is very unrealistic we'll ever get that cold, up to something like maybe 280 degrees. That would be extremely hot and overheating. But that could be the maximum and minimum range that the engine coolant temperature will see at any given time with our Sniper system fitted to our engine. So what we're going to do here is just assume 260 or 280 degrees here on the top of the table. Let me program that value, 280 right here. The next thing we'll do in order to perform the rescale is we'll grab our value right here at -40, and I'll highlight, so I'm dragging all the way across here, so I'm doing a full drag across the table, so starting here, and I'm dragging across the table, and then I'm going to go ahead, right click, and go to fill row values. Now what this is going to do is try to repopulate our table values relative from going from -40 to 280, and it actually looked like that gave me some problems here. So let's go ahead, let's try the shift function. So I'm going to go click on this cell right here, shift, and I'm going to use my right arrow key and go all the way over, which should then highlight and select that. Let's give this a shot again here. Let's go to fill row values, and now we can see it's renormalized the table, starting off with the minimum coolant temp going to the maximum coolant temp we've programmed. Now you could go here and set it up to something like maybe 0 degrees if you feel like you're never going to get down to that low of a temperature with your vehicle, which is very unlikely. We could go from 0 to 280, so let's try this again here. So we'll do shift, Go on the first cell point here, use the right arrow and go all the way across.
Thanks for checking out our teaser clip. If you want to see the rest of this video and more than 500 hours of current EFI training we have to offer, make sure you click right here. If you want to go and check out more teaser clips from this training course, click here, and you don't want to miss any of the videos we're going to be releasing on this channel, so make sure you subscribe and click here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.